YouTube going crazy. I got Every time I come in the press room, you in the press room. Working on our Stars Hottronic heat press. Using all the vinyl. Making all the picture tees. I like vinyl.
I'm about to just load these boxes up. I'm out your way.
Man, you gotta be a crazy little brother to get fired on your day off. What you get caught stealing boxes for?
Man, I didn't get caught stealing no boxes. He said he caught me though.
We get our rent paid.
Why don't you go in there and ask the girls real fast to see if they help us pay our rent?
That don't sound like a bad plan at all.
What's up, Pops? What's up, Smokey? I'm trying to set up a meeting with the girls, man.
Okay.
Y'all wanna help me and Craig pay our rent?
Craig still owe me money from the last time he got me. He gotta learn a lesson. He shouldn't be stealing. Go ask him to tell that girl from last night to give him some money.
What they say? They said it's slow for real.
I'm about to just ask boss when we get our job that night.
Of course you can.
Yeah!
What's up? I wanted to announce today that we do have a brand new film studio and video studio inside T-Shirt Kings. Photography. So if you want to have a photo shoot or anything like that, we're having a special 30-minute shoot. As many pictures as you take, we just email them all to you. You don't have to worry about prints. You get your pictures back before you leave. And so everything that you've always imagined at a photo shoot or that video production.
Yeah. Y'all actually won an award, the Boss Mag 2009 Ohio Hip Hop Award. Y'all won for that media outlet thing.
Man, I don't even know.
Like y'all won. He didn't even know he won it.
What'd you say? Who was it?
You won the Boss Magazine 2009 Ohio Hip Hop Award. Congratulations. Yo, what's good? It's your boy Peanut, aka Dash Resource. I got my man Stacker Smith in the building.
What's up?
Hey, you guys, welcome to the Legendary People Podcast. Man, powered by t-shirtkings247.com. And we want to thank everybody for continuing to watch our program. Today we got definitely a masterpiece on deck.
Absolutely.
But we do want everybody to go to our YouTube channel. Our YouTube channel is really rolling.
Yes.
We're getting close to 2,000 subscribers now. So
Almost there.
you guys
That's what I'm talking about.
over there, subscribe. We just need a few more hours watched. So like you got all these different like little milestones that you have to reach in order for you to get fully monetized. So we definitely got enough subscribers. We got enough whatever. But the last thing is we just need probably like a couple more 100 hours watched. But we blow through that real quick. So
Yes.
go to our YouTube channel, like, subscribe, ring the bell notification. Make sure you watch all of our other Legendary People podcast interviews that we have dropped. We start off every show by checking in with our sponsors. So Shiekhs for breakfast, they got the best breakfast in the city.
Absolutely.
Bacon, scrambled eggs and cheese. French toast. French toast is what I like. Right. Put all them other things on the side. Turkey bacon, scrambled eggs and cheese, and good old potatoes, man. With strawberries on the plate.
Yeah.
You gotta have the potatoes.
Have to.
Gotta have the potatoes.
Strawberries on your plate, they make it look great.
Here you go. He already getting started. Here you go.
Go to Agnes All Natural Grill for lunch.
Absolutely.
Yes. Them lamb burgers.
It's good.
Yes.
Them lamb burgers.
Pull it off. All right, and go to Agnes All Natural Grill, jerk chicken, cocoa bread, jerk chicken bowls, chicken cheese steak, pineapple bowls. All of that stuff is at Agnes All Natural Grill. They're on the corner of 3rd and Wayne, right by the library downtown. That's Agnes All Natural Grill. The best lunch in the city. Attorney Michael Wright. Get injured in a car accident. Yes, call Attorney Michael Wright.
Okay.
722-7477. Make the right choice.
Yes.
When you want to get
Uh-oh.
lit.
Yes.
And hammered.
Yes.
Get some good old Kiara Wine.
Absolutely.
Kiara Wine when you got you know the bottle that you brought in here.
Yeah.
I actually took that bottle and gave it to my sister-in-law.
That's dope.
For her anniversary. And we
Yeah.
had a little anniversary.
Oh, word.
It was good. I can't remember what kind that was.
I remember what it was.
See,
It was the cannabis infused one. It was.
I heard about that one. I've heard about that one.
It tastes like maybe like apple juice.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. That's exactly what it tastes like.
Okay.
It's amazing.
Okay.
Juice, bro.
Yeah.
Like, you would just probably be so lit because you can just continue to drink it all down. And it's
Yeah.
I put ice in mine.
Yes.
Man, bro.
Yeah. It hit.
Literally good.
Bruh, it's so good. Cause look, he gave us 2 bottles to bring in here. I swiped the bottle. Sam swiped the bottle. So it didn't. Really got to bring some more. He gave it to me over the weekend and didn't make it to Monday's podcast.
You know what, man? It was so cool to bring that bottle of wine over there.
Yes.
Because everybody was all like, oh, yeah, that's the wine from the city, bro. That's the wine from the city. So it was kind of cool. You know what I'm saying? Nice little conversation piece. So get you some Kiara Wine. And,
Yes.
It'll definitely brighten up the mood and the atmosphere wherever you at. So, wine, Kiara Wine. And last but not least, the shoparea.com.
Where? Where?
It's like the bank Amazon. If you want to go to Amazon, go to the shoparea.com first. Check it out, see if they got what you're looking for, and they will. And it's always free delivery from the store to your door in 4 business days. So the shoparea.com, and make sure you go and check out the shoparea.com. We broadcast a lot from t-shirtkings247.com. Go to your mouth and Camera King Studios. Every Sunday right here is Sales Stocks Not Dope, which is Dash Resource on the Dash Resource YouTube page. My brother from another mother, Peanut Johnson. And without further ado, Peanut Johnson, back and over to you.
Man, bro. Again, sir, you bodied it yet again. I'm going to say again. You bodied it again.
Okay.
But man, listen here. I know I say there's something like where I say there's no legend higher than this, but me and Smith have been talking about how we can only do for ourselves. And this is a person that has literally done it for herself and others.
Yes.
All right? We're talking about Miss Jaz Stewart. Okay, how are you doing today?
I am great. Thank you so much for having me. I'm so excited to be here, guys.
Hello, guys. Let me set the tone off top. Hello, Governor.
Thank you so much for having me again. I'm so just as excited as you guys are here for having me. I'm super excited to be here.
Right. So here on the Legend of People podcast, we like to know the origin. So without further ado, where did you grow up?
I grew up in Chicago, actually. Chi-Town, Chirac, yes, I did. I moved here to Dayton when I was about 12, so about 17 years ago. But yeah, I started out in Chi-Town.
Wow. So, like, what's some of those early experiences from Chicago that, like, you draw from?
You know what? I was a child, but very vividly remember not being able to go outside for real. That was a big thing with my mom, only because, we lived on the street where it was gangs and stuff for real. Mm-hmm. So she was more so like, I'm more safer in a house. And that was actually one thing that drove her to move to Ohio. Wow. Was she had better opportunities here for our living situation. So, I left her when I was about 12. I don't remember much about Chicago, honestly. I didn't do much there, didn't go outside much.
What schools did you go to there?
You know what's so crazy? I went to Bryn Mawr, and it's a little... I'm getting to that. So it's a little running joke with my boyfriend. He always be like, yeah, you don't be telling people where you from because you from 63rd for real. So I really am from 63rd and Yates. I went to Bryn Mawr, and that's actually the same school I believe like Lil Durk and them went to. Yeah, I'm obviously older than them, but yeah.
And that's a legend, by the way, guys. Let's get that out the way.
Right, set this up. They had changed the name from Bryn Mawr to Boucher. I went to Arthur Ashe. And what's crazy is I used to think, my grandmother was super huge into like African culture, African arts, things like that. And she put me in that school. That school, we had like our principal was Nigerian. So like Kwanzaa was really a big deal. Every single month we had the African dancers coming in. And I like really think that was a huge part of my love still for the culture and African arts and things like that to this day. So yeah.
That's cool as hell, man.
Yep.
It really is. So like, who are some of your friends that you can remember back in those days? Who were some of your friends back then?
You know what? I didn't have a lot of friends growing up, even now. My upbringing was, I hate to say it, but I was more so like taking care of kids and stuff growing up, so I didn't really have a bunch of friends.
What was your home life like? So like you had mom, dad there, and siblings?
No, it was just my mom, me. I was the oldest sibling. I have 2 sisters and a brother. And I was the oldest. So you know how the oldest daughter role go, pretty much take care of the kids, take care of the house while mom is gone, almost like second mom.
Right.
So yeah.
So was your mom ever give you like stories about like what's up with your dad or anything like that?
Yeah, I mean, I knew my dad, of course, but he was dealing with his own demons and drug addiction and things like that. So unfortunately, a huge part of my life growing up, he was incarcerated. So we still had a relationship, of course, and love my dad to this day. He's amazing, all these good things. But yeah, when I was growing up, it was really just me and my mom, really.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, so like you like big sis having to help.
Yeah, and you know what's crazy? That translates still for me to this day. I really feel like, of course I have children of my own, but I almost feel like the great mother almost for the community. And what I mean by that, respectfully, is like really bridging that education gap between social issues in my community, economic issues in my community, like really being a person that can help my community in ways, almost like a mothering figure, like making sure y'all, like, I love farming, but I also love like making sure y'all get y'all fruits and veggies and stuff, like making sure y'all know about these things, making sure, you know, your spirit is intact, making sure your mental wellness is intact, but really like governing people from a mothering standpoint. That was kind of really instilled in me young.
Wow.
Yeah.
So like what was that transition like from coming from Chicago to Dayton?
Huge culture shock. It was a huge culture shock. It was a lot slower here in Ohio. It was a lot more freedom here in Ohio. I don't know, everything was so different. Like I remember getting here, and this is so funny now, but like all of the girls was like in love with B2K here when I first got here, and I'm like, who is B2K? Like we don't listen to this in Chicago. Like the way I dressed was different. The way I talked was different. How my hair was different. Everything, like I really stuck out like a sore thumb. But when I was going to school, you know, I didn't have any problems or anything like that. But it was just, I guess, getting used to like, this isn't Chicago. Yeah, this is not Chicago.
So you said you came around when you were about 12, right?
Yeah.
So you got a best friend from back then.
Lord, yes. That's still my best friend to this day.
Exactly.
Absolutely, yes. Me and Jess has been through thick and thin. That is so funny, you know that, yep.
If I had $1 for everything.
I know, they always say that,
I could own a full
I know.
I was kidding. So,
Yes.
but like, what would it like to go from, you know what I'm saying, like in Chicago not really having like a friend to having one that's like solid, and you know it's solid, obviously, if it's all these times.
It was probably more so a sister. Like I could finally have a sister for, even though I have sisters, it was more so I was always under the dynamic of their older sister. So I'm more so trying to protect y'all versus, you know, trying to kiki with y'all. So
Right.
I met somebody my age. She was going through kind of a lot of the same things I was going through growing up. And we just clicked. We just clicked since then. Like, for real, since then, that's so crazy. Yeah, we've been rocking since then.
Okay.
Yeah.
You know what? Like, I got an older sister like that too. I was like the baby of my family, and
You could tell his personality.
right, in a way, because normally the youngest is probably, you know, learns from all of the mistakes that their brothers and sisters made the older, and they turn out to be the best. You can tell from me.
He had to get his point.
Right, he had to get it off.
Get his point back.
But what I was gonna say was sometimes my sisters, I think that they kind of like playing that motherly role that you're talking about. They might get in trouble for not damn near watching the child. Did you ever go through stuff like that to just kind of like make your childhood like finally get a relief to?
Yes, and you know what? That's actually been a generational curse that I have loved to break with my own kids. Like, really not putting that on my daughters. Like, it's really not my daughter's responsibility to make sure her siblings, you know, had dinner, had this, and da-da-da-da. So I really love being able to give my own kids a real childhood, for real.
Yeah.
And you
was
know
cooking that early?
Yeah, honest to God. And I really like to keep my personal stories personal, but I feel like sharing this. Like, really growing up, at probably like 9 or 10, my mother was always working. My dad would come in and out, but he wouldn't be well enough to care for us. So essentially he might have been at home, but I would have been the one cooking breakfast. Right. So it would essentially be like me still caring for him, caring for my brothers, caring for my sister, whoever was at the house. So yeah, I just and you know what's crazy? I don't know if you guys watched the Wu-Tang series.
Yes.
The character, she reminds me so much of herself. Like she kind of lived that same thing. Like she was her mama was working and her mom was a single mom and she had to work. So therefore she had to step up and be the mom and take care of the kids and clean and cook like that. And I find that often leads girls to having kids their own early.
Wow.
Because they're so used to already being a mom. It's not to say it's almost like I've already been doing this, I can handle it. It's almost like if this has been your upbringing up until adulthood and now you kind of have this sense of freedom almost, it can almost be a little scary. Like, what do I do now? Like, I don't have anybody to care for now. And then you kind of, looking for love and da-da-da. And before you know it, you done probably had a baby. So, and I don't want to say that for everybody's life story, but for quite a few.
Wow. I mean, because to me, I didn't think of that being, as you like describe, as a generational curse, because it's so natural for us. I mean, I remember my mom, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, my mom would be like, don't open the door. And if I call the house, I'm going to call once, hang up, and then I'll call back.
Right.
Like, I remember that. And I remember being like, how old was I? I had to be no older than... Mom, I love you. I ain't going to get your business out there, but...
but she was preparing you to, like, be responsible.
No, wait. And I had children early.
Yeah. For
man,
real.
when I was
that is crazy.
when I was 5 years old, bro, I would walk I was in Rolling Circle. Mm-hmm. I'd walk from school to my house, unlock the door, call my mom at work, and let her know that I had got home.
Yeah.
5.
Wow.
Lock the door back. You better not open up for nobody.
I would stay there until my brother and my sister got there. They probably I don't know how long it took them to get home. It probably wasn't that long. But I was still there by myself, and I had all that responsibility to do at 5 years old. I put that on.
Did you have your child early?
Yeah, 17 or 18.
See?
Yeah.
Wow.
But what's so crazy is like what else was we gonna do at that time?
Child,
like people was doing what they had to do to make things work. Like what else was you gonna do at that time? Who else was gonna come watch you? Who else was gonna make sure you got home? Like she was really preparing you for that.
You gotta watch. I mean,
that's a really good observation.
Yeah.
But you know what? Like again, I love like with my own kids, and it's kind of like we kind of kicking ourselves in the butt now because now I'm trying to teach my kids responsibility and the value of things and stuff like that. But that came from them not really having to struggle like the way we was having to struggle growing up.
I don't know, man, but damn, letting a 5-year-old do all
that
crazy type of stuff.
That's crazy.
Like in 2021.
Oh God.
It don't seem like it's right, but kids
It'd have been a Karen out of nowhere that would have found you walking down the street.
I don't know.
Oh my God.
It's still like that for a lot of kids.
Kids now might be more aware than we were. Like kids now are more advanced, man. I'm telling you.
Yeah.
Kids
for
now
sure.
listen,
for sure.
Bro, they are exposed to much more
information than us, for sure.
For sure.
I have a youth gardening program. So with my youth gardening program, my scholars are from kindergarten to 6th grade. The things we talk about, it scares me how much parents think that how much of a bubble that they think their kids live in because it's unrealistic. It's like I've talked to kids, some of my kids, they've talked to me about how they're gay, how they have thought about suicide, how they have been abused, how
they talking
all of
to you
things.
about being gay. How old is this kid?
I kid you not.
That's a bar.
This girl, she was a girl, and she's in 5th grade, and we were just talking, and she was like, "Yeah, I'm dating somebody," and I'm like, "Dating? What's that mean?" And she was like, "Oh, I want to tell you." So I'm like, "Okay," but she was like, "Yeah, I'm dating somebody. I have a girlfriend." And I was like, "Oh, okay, a girlfriend." She was like, "Yeah, we've been dating for like a week."
See, I think this is programming, man. This little girl don't know.
Now
my story.
Oh, go ahead.
So, for instance, I remember my daughter coming to me and saying to me, and she's only 7, so she was 6 when this happened. She was saying, "Daddy, I'm gay." I said, "What is gay?" She said, "I don't know." I said, "Where'd you hear that?" "On TikTok."
Yeah, and that's another thing. Like when I've heard.
See.
I've heard
Like she didn't even know what it was.
exactly. The suicide games was terrible for kids. Kids should never have watched that. I think the video games, a lot of times I hear the kids singing, they talk about violent things, and it's always within music. Like it's always a song they heard, or they didn't put these words to a song that they know. And one day I really had to stop. One kid, he had said something about suicide, and I'm like, do you know what that means?
So what did you
And he
say
said
when the
no.
girl told you she was gay?
I just said, oh, what else can you say?
No, you're not.
No, I don't think that's fair to say.
Man, don't
because
get
a lot of
Man, you right on that
No, you're not, little girl.
line. Man, don't cross
Let
that
me
line.
tell you something.
No,
Look,
and I don't think that's fair to say because I know a lot of people that have said that they knew that they were gay in childhood.
Man, don't do
But
it.
this is my thought about that.
Have
Like,
you been playing card ready?
if you no, this is serious. Like, for example, with like Dwayne Wade's son, okay, saying that he's gay. Like, have you ever actually went and had sex with another person?
But Smith,
I don't think
That-
you have to have
that
sex
is what-
with a person to know if you're attracted to. Like, you can know
Because-
you're attracted to
But are
somebody
you
without.
gay at that point?
their
though?
argument is gay isn't about sex. Like as much real estate we put in who you have sex with, that's not what gay is.
Right.
Gay is not. Who
That's
you
not
have sex
what
with.
the fullness
Yeah.
and everything
Yeah,
of
it's
gayness
not just who you
is
have.
not.
No,
Yeah, that.
That is what I've heard, and that is why someone told me that.
What's gay? Just being attracted to the same sex?
Yeah.
I don't fully know.
That's gay.
I would say that's the most basic probably explanation, and I don't want to, because I'm not gay and I don't want to say the wrong thing, but
I mean, this
it's just
goalpost
pretty
is
much
getting moved
just
over
being
and over and
attracted
over.
to the same sex. And you know what's crazy? That's something that you actually see outside of humans. You can actually see that in other species. You can actually see that in plants, believe it or not.
a little girl that's in the 5th grade is coming around saying that she's
But even
gay.
with her saying it, it could be true. It could not be true. We don't know. Like, give her some space to figure it out. Give her some time to figure it out.
Yeah.
Maybe she thinks she is and she not. Maybe she not and she thinks
But
she
how
is. Maybe she
often
just
do
heard
you
it from
ever hear-
somewhere.
How have you ever heard a 5th grader say I'm heterosexual?
Nah, but if I think if other people made being heterosexual a big deal as they do homosexuality, maybe.
I just think that it's programming.
Absolutely, absolutely.
Programming
I
is
don't-
very
I-
real.
And I don't think that this young lady, and she shouldn't have, already been sexual enough to call herself anything. Now, curious, all right, I might be able to understand that. But for her to come out and say that she's gay, I just think that it's just kind of like some shit is just like too much. Like, for example, let's say that we want to get back to our African roots, right? You know, and we went through a period like that where we actually dress in more African than the Africans.
Yes.
Just to make this statement. Like now I'm so careful, don't want to say nothing about gays at all, even when a gay person is obviously wrong. You can't condemn. People do that with black people.
Yes.
Black people be obviously wrong about something, but no, we can't say anything about them because we don't want to offend. It's being too politically correct. For any movement like that to now take it so far that we are going to have kids claiming that they are this sexual orientation, is too much.
Right.
It's too. A child has no business saying they're heterosexual, gay, or any other sexual preference because they should not be dealing with sex at that point.
And you know what? I really think, like, you know how parents try to get sexual education out of schools? I really think we need to bring it back. And the only reason I say that is even within my own parenting, like, I have a daughter, she's 12, she's like in boys now, but it's like, what is okay? Like, how old is okay to date? Is it okay for her to like somebody? Like, I can't make her not like somebody. I can't make her not be interested in somebody, but finding a healthy balance within that. And, I mean, these days, I don't even want to say these days because people have been homosexual since the beginning of time. It's like you might have a homosexual child. Will they reveal that to you? I don't know, depending on like how you coming off. If it's acceptable to you or not, maybe they might be honest with you. If not, they might hide that part about themselves, but that doesn't make that any less part of them. And then like my daughter, y'all just see my daughter. My daughter is 4. She watches Disney. I constantly have to change the shows because they're showing these kids as actively dating as like 9 and 10-year-olds. Like, why are 9 and 10-year-olds kissing on TV and like
grooming?
Right, that's exactly what it's like. Programming is very real. Do I feel like it's a gay agenda being programmed? I don't necessarily think so.
Yes, but it's definitely.
So. My opinion is I don't think so.
It's in full effect.
But I just feel like there's always gonna be people of different taste and variety in the world, such as me and you argue over the smallest minute points, right? But that just shows our difference in opinion, right? I feel like if you can have that section of mind state between two different conscious brothers, it can be the same way in sexual orientation. That's all I'm saying. So someone could be completely in a different X than your Y. That's all my point is. And I understand that, yes, those things are out there that are like manipulating and running them through the gauntlet. But that doesn't mean that those people who really do go through that are really going through that. And there are people that are influenced into that.
Yeah. And you know,
such as everybody in prison ain't guilty, but there are going to be some people in there that definitely did it.
Yeah. And I think we also as adults,
but I just
use sexual education because honestly, like I've heard people, I have friends that are like sex experts and teachers and things like that, and they always talk about sexuality as being like a spectrum. Like you can never be fully straight, you can never be fully gay. Like you might kind of, go back and forth type of deal. Like if you allow yourself, essentially. But I mean, just look historically, have Black people ever been able to explore sexuality?
No, not in a healthy.
Not in a healthy like individualized way.
What is the exploration?
Exploring sexuality, like a lot of people may feel like sex is just a man being able to have pleasure and a woman not. Some people may feel like sex is I don't know, like all
I'm
these
just saying when we're talking about exploring sexuality.
I'm gonna give an example, Smith. The reason why men, like for instance, let's use men for example, right? A man is not allowed to explore. Like a woman can go off and try to be with other women and that third, and then come back and get married and go off fine
and
say,
be fine, nothing
fine,
or judgment.
She tried that. A man does not have the opportunity to do that because we have such strict standards on. Men don't do that. Like, and if you do that, at that point in time, you are on that side of the fence. You are on that side of the fence. You are gay. You can't be exploring and come back.
And not even that.
And that is really our culture.
Yeah. And we like, or
and
even
other cultures to be like, sure, go ahead and go do it and come back.
And
whatever.
also with the poly relationships, like a lot of us be like, oh no, I have to be in a monogamous relationship, and that's for me. But for somebody else, it could be like, no, I actually prefer a polygamous relationship, and actually I would prefer to be with 2 women and 2 men, or 3 or 4, or whatever that case. Like that's still a valid thing. That's still a valid
and we don't
thing.
have these
but we don't have we not able to explore those things because
this man's like, man,
I know.
Like freaks on here talking this early.
No. I mean, listen.
Look,
look, everybody has the right to operate how they want to operate, and everybody has the freedom to think how they want to think.
Yes.
But it always goes both ways.
Yeah.
That's a bar.
That's a bar.
Go both ways.
Right?
So
he don't even catch his bar.
So what I am saying is, what you guys are saying, I understand what you mean.
Yeah.
But what I'm saying has validity as well.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Okay, so what I'm saying is, like, we make a lot to do about sex, right? Mm-hmm. But sex is just pretty much it's a function for us to be able to reproduce life. Now, the recreation part about it is something completely different.
Yes.
Right? All right. So when we just looking at sex from just like what it's for, the pleasure involved is just to make sure that everybody loves this stimulation enough that they have to have it in order for life to continue here on Earth.
Okay.
And I've heard.
So, I mean, if you just, on just like a spiritual note, if you're looking at it from that type of situation, if you're trying to bring in, I just think things manifest from the from the spiritual to the physical.
And but like it's always gonna be stuff that like God can create everything. Man is going to change and alter. Like he gave us two things, we created the internet. He gave us this, we created that. We're going to create things within the spectrum of what he allows.
But
also.
I think that it's good for us to give our children a healthy dose of least some type of. No, I think that we should have some type of moral compass, bro, in order to keep everything.
Yeah.
And certain things are not for children.
Yes.
It's just, and certain things are not for adults. Like some shit adults shouldn't be doing. You grown man, why is you acting like that?
Yeah.
Okay. Same thing. You're a child. You shouldn't be acting like that.
Right.
And
yes,
it takes a village to raise a child, and it's okay to redirect. And the answer might not be as blunt as no, you're not. End of conversation. Period. Point blank. That's it. It could be a follow up to say, babe, I'm not. Right now, you're so young, you don't know what you're saying.
exactly.
You need to talk to your mom and understand this whole spectrum of what sex is. And then we go into the sexual orientation. But to just leave it there, it may be a missed opportunity to educate, man. You feel me? I don't know. And you know, but this is more about. I think we getting off track a little bit. You feel me?
I know exactly where we are.
Yeah.
I know exactly where we are.
And
Yeah,
I just,
no
if I
doubt.
could just end it with, and also just touching on spirituality, a lot of people be like, oh, well, that's not a part of African spirituality. That's not exactly true. Various African spiritualities have always recognized homosexuality, but they had the one, I don't want to call it a law or rule, but pretty much people could live homosexual lives, but understand that they still owe the community a child. So it's like you could be with, two men could be together, but please understand that you guys still need to reproduce with the woman because we still need to keep the lineage
But
going.
who taught that?
What
You just said.
I've heard that from plenty of African spiritual leaders.
Like who?
One woman named Iyokala on Instagram, she teaches.
I need, you know, sometimes people get in jams and they'll say shit.
Nah, for real.
I don't know, man.
I'll do my
I don't
due
know.
diligence.
I ain't gonna
I'll do
just-
my research.
I'ma send it
I'll do
to
my
you.
research and
I'ma
I'll
send
find
it.
it.
Does that
Yeah,
sound
yeah.
crazy
No.
to believe?
Yes.
No, I mean,
Really?
Yes, it does, because it does not line up with what we do. Hell no.
Even
Man,
how
that's
they
that
build
European
families
shit,
in
bro.
African countries is very different than how we do. They very much so still have arranged marriages and planned families and
we
things
ain't even
like
necessarily
that.
Africans too. That's another thing. Like, but these
Okay, that's
these
true.
things got so many different moving parts.
Right.
We
Let's
can
get back
just
to the
build
part
on-
where we was at where
Right,
she
right.
finally got here from Chicago.
Okay.
Look, I know that. Look, I'm good at this, y'all. I'm good at this.
All day.
She
Come
finally got
on,
here from
let's go.
Chicago. What school did you go to when you first came from Chicago to here?
Cornell Heights.
And listen,
Elementary.
guys, if you guys love that
Cornell.
conversation, please make sure you guys watch, because she's going to do a follow-up, because we love the dialogue back and forth.
Oh
with
yeah,
you.
Yeah.
you gotta be able to build. This is nothing.
And she'll
Yeah.
come back to
Conversation.
rebuild upon that point, so you guys table that for later. So anyway, so
Good conversation. Good
But yeah, I came
conversation.
here
Great
to
conversation.
Cornell Heights. Cornell is no longer here, obviously, but yeah, that's where I went. I went to Cornell, then I went to Fairview, and what's crazy, life always brings it back full circle. Back full circle.
Yes.
I went to Fairview, and now I have the gardening program at Fairview.
exactly.
That's major.
Yep.
So, like, what are some of your fondest memories from those times from when you first got here and getting acclimated into Dayton?
Let me think. That's a good question. I don't know.
What grade was you in at Cornell?
I went there for 5th and 6th grade.
5th and 6th.
And
okay.
then Fairview,
What
7th
year
and
is this, Jazz? What year are we talking about?
What year was that? I graduated in 09.
Okay.
So yeah, y'all gonna have to
It's
do
like
the math on that
like
one.
2000 type.
Probably like
Yeah.
2000, 2001, 2002 ish
to
around
around
there.
that time,
Yep.
okay.
You know what's crazy? And this might sound absolutely crazy, but I didn't get to really experience life for real until like after 18. So anything before that was pretty much all school and work. Really, I didn't do much.
So, except for when you was with Ashley, Adriel,
Oh
and Don.
God!
Wait. Back in 2007, you wasn't doing anything then.
No, listen, yeah, that was probably freshly 18, freshly 17. Yeah, I definitely don't get it twisted. I didn't. I'm a farmer and a mom now, but when I first turned 18, I definitely did have a good time. I definitely did have a good time out here.
So, you was a senior cheerleader as well.
No, I wasn't a senior.
Football team.
Oh yeah. Oh my God.
Give my point. She gotta take it. No, I wasn't. Oh yeah.
So that was a powder puff game. That was seniors versus juniors. So yeah, when I was a senior, I was definitely active in school and did all the things you could do, the prom, the powder puff, all those things for sure. Yeah.
For sure. So after high school, so like during high school, are you thinking about college? What kind of college are you looking at?
Well, you know what? I had college on my mind for a split second, and then that following second, the very next second, I had moving out, and I went the moving out route, and I left home, got my own place, and really just started living.
Yeah. So like one of the things that like you had celebrated was when you got promoted to sales manager.
Oh yeah. That was pretty.
So like, where were you working during this time that you got promoted to sales manager? I mean, because you seen everybody like congratulate you and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? You were saying, "Yo, you will come to my Oval Office."
Nah, you know what's crazy? And I always knew I would end up in an entrepreneurial role because I've always had an entrepreneurial spirit. Like whenever I had jobs, I would always end up being in like the manager or supervisor role. At that time, actually, I was working at Bob Evans.
Oh, word.
And you know what? That's funny. What's crazy is that was probably one of the most foundational jobs of my lifetime. I literally learned so much as a server and a waitress, just in terms of people and buying and selling and all those things. So yeah, after a while of serving, they saw how good I was, and they kind of sent me off to go sell to companies and places like that. So yeah,
that is really cool.
You know what's crazy? Something else funny about Bob Evans? That's actually where I met my future husband, my baby daddy. So yeah, we actually met there too. So Bob Evans wasn't that bad of a place.
And you got some inside jokes there. What's the Snow That inside joke?
The what?
Snow That with shards and
That's actually the guy I was just talking about. My future husband right there. Cheers. I don't remember that particular joke, but it was, when we worked there, we had amazing coworkers. We always had a blast. You know how you have a job where the job wasn't that great, but your coworkers was like real fun? Yeah.
For me, it was Taco Bell. I will not lie to y'all. Yeah. I love my job at Taco Bell. Like, I literally got a manager there. I really got my best friend Brittany on there.
Okay, yeah.
Brittany became a manager, so it's like I'm like in a, you feel me? Like, it's kind of like me being at work and I can do whatever I want to. Like, I remember one time me and my new E-man.
Right, for real.
Shout out to E-man, bro. He was in there one day talking crazy, right? So I'm like, bro, you gonna get on the window to run the window, you either gonna be on the headset or I'm gonna dunk you on the headset. He like, man, what's up, man? So we go outside and get the rest and I slam on the headset. They end up calling me the manager that'll damage you.
The manager that'll damage you.
Ask E-Man if I lie, right? So, all right. So
what an embarrassing story for E-Man.
That's my bro. I love E-Man, bro. I love E-Man. So, but also some funny times, like somebody had tampons in their shoes.
Oh my God. I know what you're talking about. That's actually I remember that. That was actually I was picking up my son one day from daycare. Somebody had that in their shoes.
What do you know by any chance Brittany Biggs that worked there?
I sure do. Love
That's
her.
my cousin.
Is it?
Yes.
Absolute sweetheart.
Yeah.
Yes, I used to work with her.
Yep. Bob Evans.
And Hope Road.
Yep, Hope Road.
Yep. She been there forever too. What's crazy, we used to work together, and when I was growing up in Inglewood, we had kind of lived in the same apartment complex.
Yeah. Yep. That's
super sweet.
Her husband, we brothers, but he really my first cousin. And they've been together forever.
Yeah, they've been together forever.
Bob Evans family for sure.
I haven't seen her in forever, but when we all lived in the same apartment, like her kids were small, like I'm probably her kid, probably just a smidge older than her kids for real, but I'm sure they probably grown now and everything. Her kids,
Yep.
So just in like to put the story, to put a cap on her crazy part of her life, because so the very last crazy part I gotta ask you, I was watching was about some lady flashing you and then the police running and like chasing her. And
what?
You said a lady flashed you with small boobs for some beads.
That had to be Spring Break or something. Oh my God, where did you find it? That had to be like spring break. Yeah, I definitely, like I said, when I first got out of high school, I traveled, had fun, and all that. So yeah, Panama City, 09.
2011, that was the hot girl summer, okay? Because
yeah, for sure. I don't live in that type of life more, guys.
So to move forward, in 2012, you had an all-natural birth, but it was a preemie.
Yes. That's my son, Riker. Yes, he's 8 now, and that was kind of my transition into motherhood was chaotic. It was traumatizing for real. I was scared to have a baby again after that. And you know what? That's something we don't talk about a lot is the complications for Black women specifically during childbirth. Like what's crazy? I delivered my son 3 months early. Yep. He had a brain bleed. It was crazy. It was so much stuff going on. My uterus had actually ruptured. But, and I say this to this day, Black women, if you are pregnant, please get any type of test you can possibly get to make sure you and your baby are going to be all right through this pregnancy. Do that, because I had health issues that were not addressed well until I was going into premature birth. And it's like, you guys could have saw this leading up months ago had you did testing for this or that. So yeah,
doctors. We just had a whole podcast about doctors, and Robin Mobley actually just commented on this post. Yep. And I see like disparities really affect inner city communities at astronomical numbers in the medical field, in the food industry. Like, no matter what industry you in, it's like we always get the short end of the stick, or we always get just not all of the resources, always being under-resourced. Yeah.
And to me, I always insensitively say this joke, which always gets me in hot water, right? I'm gonna get in hot water today. I always felt like, prior to right now, it'll get us canceled, right? Right, so listen, so I used to like always argue with like, you know what I'm saying, my child mom leading up to her having a baby. Right? I was like, I want to go all natural, And I was like, I mean, just take the epidural so you be comfortable and you ain't got to worry about the third. But I didn't think about the implications of what they give you. So what was the defining factor on why you chose a natural birth compared to...
Well, with my
on the pause button, like
with my son, I had no choice. I literally had a completely fine, or what I thought was completely fine, pregnancy up until the day I went into premature labor. I woke up. I wasn't feeling right. I was just feeling weird. I went to one hospital. They said I was fine. They were sending me home. I thank God my mom, she came and picked me back up again and said, nope, we about to go to another hospital. Went to another hospital. They started hooking me up to things and noticed that the baby was actually coming. I was going into labor. They tried to give me all types of things through IV to try to slow things down. He was still coming. He came. It literally, all of this happened literally within minutes.
What?
Literally minutes. I kid you not, literally minutes. And it's so crazy. Like one day I had just requested my medical records of this particular day of me giving birth. And guys, I kid you not, when I say the record was like this big, explaining what happened that day. And like after that, my son, he had to stay in a NICU for 3 months. That was a crazy experience. I saw so much. You never really hear the other side of childbirth. I used to think, oh, you get pregnant, you have a baby, that's it. Yeah. No, there's so much that can go on, and it's not uncommon for children to die and mothers to die, or deformities or things like that. Like, it's really not that uncommon as we think. For
right.
Yeah.
I mean, and you know what I'm saying, like infant death, or what they call like mortality rates are higher in Black births anyway. It's like,
I'll never forget. I was at one of my little prenatal appointments, and the lady, they sent in a social worker, and she kept asking about stress and stuff, and she was like, yeah, Black babies are more likely to die, like 3 times likely to die than white babies and stuff. And I asked her why, and she was like, racism. And it wasn't until recently that I really started putting together the pieces of what she meant, like how racism affects us, how racism directly affects us. Like, racism, one way racism really affects us is by grocery stores refusing to open in Black neighborhoods. Like, they refuse to open, saying that the profit margins are too low, or crime, or things like that. But that keeps food out of our neighborhoods. That's the way that racism affects us. Like, and we can look on so many other industries and realms to see that as well.
So shout out to my Hasalasi with the
Gem City Market.
Gem City Market. Yes.
They just got a year or 3 years of completion.
6 months.
Yes, 6 months.
Half
Half birthday. That's what it was. Yeah.
But we got a Gem City Market. Thank you so much. We really need it, but we really need like 10 Gem City Markets for real.
Yeah, because when you think about, to add to your point, Jazz, like when you think about it, shit, Inglewood probably got
Whole Foods.
What, four grocery stores? They got Aldi's.
Kroger Super Center.
Yeah.
They got Myers.
Walmart.
They got Walmart.
They got Meyer.
They got Myers.
And they got Aldi right there behind. I mean, that's little as
In one
Inglewood.
neighborhood right
Yeah.
there, yep.
And then you come to Dayton and shit, we got what? One grocery store?
Yep.
And Gem City Market. So 2.
Yep.
That's
nuts.
That ain't right.
And before Gem City Market, we only had Save-A-Lot, but and not to shade Save-A-Lot or anything, but it's like we don't really get fresh stuff.
Quality
Stuff
yeah.
in there. And I was recently putting a pitch together, and I was doing all this research. I was reading a city development paper one day on grocery stores opening in inner cities, and what did it say? It said that inner city communities are more likely to buy their food products from a Dollar General store because that's the only thing that's open that has food items. A lot of us are grocery shopping at Dollar General stores.
And a lot of people don't got transportation to get that
Exactly.
far
The
too,
biggest
man.
obstacle is transportation.
Cause so I'm right here by Vandalia-ish, kind of, right?
Uh-huh.
But the Kroger's that was right there on Needmore was so perfect,
Yep.
man.
Yes.
Yep.
And that shit moved away.
Yep.
Now it's a big deal to go to the grocery store.
Yep.
Like going to the grocery store requires a lot more planning.
Yeah.
I mean, it requires a lot more energy and just the mental strength to get up and actually go.
Yeah.
If I got to drive now all the way to damn it, Huber Heights, the one on what's that, Chambersburg? I can't remember what street it is, but like that one, or go to the Vandalia Kroger's now. It's different, man.
Yeah.
You know, so but for the people that live in Northland, that I know, I used to see them walk to the store all the time.
Yeah.
Yep.
I don't know
Yeah,
what
about
they
that.
doing now.
Yeah.
Yep.
Like that's
Going to the Dollar Tree.
yeah.
To get them dollar steaks, the canned goods. They go in there. They go into the
It's a
I
Dollar
think
General.
so,
It's a
yeah.
Dollar General
Yeah,
or a
I
Family
know.
Dollar that's right there on Dixie. So,
Yep.
but that's still
Or
just
catching
like,
one bus to go to
Down to the Walmart and come back.
Walmart.
oh yeah, go to the Walmart now.
I be telling people all the time, like, do you know a lot of people
Miller Lane,
never
yeah.
eat veggies until they get grown and start going out to restaurants?
Right.
Like, do you know a lot of people haven't had fruit ever in their life? Like, but imagine like 30 years without eating an apple, without eating vitamin C, without getting, your protein from a spinach or these things. And it's like, that's very real. That's
Yeah.
very real for so many people.
But you spoke about how you can start your own hydroponic setups with food stamps, essentially.
Absolutely.
So can you kind of walk us through that? Because, like, to me, I think that's something that would benefit everybody. If they just knew, like, okay, I know y'all flipping them. I ain't putting y'all federal business out there. Y'all don't relax.
We ain't saying nothing about them yet.
At least y'all need to be doing something that can actually benefit you and sustain life in a better and healthy fashion. Can you please give us a little bit of that?
Absolutely. So if you receive food stamps, EBT, whatever it is called in your area, you can use those benefits to buy food producing items such as seeds, vegetable seeds. So you can go to Walmart, and I've actually done this. I've seen people do this. Go to Walmart, you can buy some green bean seeds. You can buy some tomato seeds. You can buy some pumpkin seeds, collard green seeds, and grow that food yourself. I've also seen people using their benefits to get hydroponic systems in which those help grow food faster. But because it is a food producing related item, you can use your benefits that way. And I know sometimes, laws change and things like that, so be sure to check in your area as far as, if this, happens. But as far as in Ohio and Montgomery County, I have seen people use stamps to get seeds. And you can go buy a lemon tree with your food stamps. You can go buy an apple tree. So in the summertime, springtime, go to Myers, go to Walmart, go to these places and get that stuff. Get that stuff.
To me, that's a jewel because to us we only think of, you know what I'm saying, like you go through the line with your items and then they gonna scan all your food stuff and then a pack of cigarettes you done got for your auntie. They gonna make you pay out your pocket for that. But I had no idea you can purchase food producing items with SNAP benefits, food benefits.
Absolutely. So again, those veggie seeds, fruit trees, seeds and trees, things like that. Go get that stuff.
Wow.
Yep.
So where do you go from being Jazz the mom into who you are today? What was the first turning point? What was somebody that influenced you? Somebody that kind of tapped you on the shoulder?
You know what? I found gardening as kind of a way of a therapeutic practice. It really helped me gardening helped me find meditation, it helped me slow down, it helped me be with myself and think and things like that. I had got my home gardening certification, and that kind of helps me, that kind of led me to go down the rabbit hole even more.
How do you get that?
So during COVID, Louisiana State University, they offered a home gardening course, and they offered it for free.
What?
COVID, right? So I just snatched that little bag right on up. And like I said, that just drove me to go down the rabbit hole even more, and that led me to CSU, and the city of Trotwood has a farm incubator program that I am in right now. So that kind of brought me to the whole farming perspective and agriculture and things like that. Since then, I done went down a little further though and started messing around with livestock and things like that. I'm super huge into teaching home gardening and agriculture now to the community though. That's my biggest thing now. Like I really enjoy doing that.
So let's go back in the legendary time machine, right? So let's go back to Jazz back in Chicago, right?
Okay.
Jazzmon with the M-O-N.
Right.
Make sure you spell it correctly.
Please.
Right?
Please.
So what is something that you wish that you could whisper in that little girl's ear that would have helped you along your path a little earlier or would have benefited you today? What is something you wish you could have said to your younger self?
What would I say? That's a good question. I would say so much. What would I say? I would say it's okay to be different. I would say you're not bossy, you're a leader. I think one thing I really love with my youth group is being able to cultivate that leadership role in young girls, because a lot of times growing up I would get in trouble so much for being bossy, but it's like, nah, y'all was just looking at it wrong. Like I was showing signs of being an entrepreneur in childhood, and y'all just didn't see it for real. So it's like, no, really cultivating that as being a good leader, and just really telling myself it was gonna be okay.
Man, like my whole life, man, I really felt like I wanted to do farming, and I think what me and my brother used to say is we just wanted to just drop out of society altogether,
off the grid completely.
Yeah, just because it just seemed like it was it's a lot, man. It's a lot to maintain, and you get to chasing money all the time. And no matter how fast you run or how much money you get, it's going to always be more to do, and you achieve a goal and then you on to the next thing. Yes. So, like, that whole thing, like, is, like, I admire the fact that you actually get out there and do it, you know? I used to think that, I still think this, that we do a lot of stuff backwards. So, you know, like the most healthy food, we would probably be growing it ourselves. And it's not free, but it would be less expensive if we just grew our own food. We came away from the meat and just cultivated. We might have to work a little harder to get it, but instead, we pay money to kill ourselves.
Yes.
You know, you pay much more. So it's kind of like you got it. You got like this wonderful concept that I think all of us should have, is just, you know, putting in that work. Go ahead.
I love telling people gardening, farming, agriculture is not something secondary to us.
Right.
Frederick Douglass once said, it is in color, form, and feature that we are related to the original tillers of this land. We are the people that taught people agriculture.
Yes.
We have this innate thing in us to cultivate. We have this innate thing in us to where we want to touch soil and things like that. also like to tell people, like, I love teaching gardening because in a way it helps me to teach about self-care. If I can get you to worry about the nourishment required for this plant, you can start thinking about the nourishment required for yourself.
Wow.
And I love teaching that gardening helps me to teach about needs and wants. Like, this particular plant might like a lot of water and a little sun, but this plant over here might like a little sun and a lot of water. And it's just like, what works for this person or what is necessary for this person is not going to be the same for this other person. That's the same for plants. So I like, when I teach about plants, I really love to get right in the spiritual parts about life. Like, and I'll never forget, listen, my life really was upside down one year. This one I really found gardening, but a woman had told me, if you want to learn 1,000,001 things about life and people, get you a plant. Get you a plant.
Wow.
And I mean, there's so many benefits to gardening and farming, and I like to say both because gardening really more so just focuses on like flowers and plants, like indoor plants, outdoor plants, things like that. But agriculture really focuses on like growing crops and food production. I even like talking about food production with people. Like, everybody eats, but nobody knows how to grow food. How? Why?
Right.
If the grocery store is closed down today, what are we gonna do?
Right.
Man.
And
we're gonna call you first.
Go to your Facebook page.
What was she doing again?
Your messenger gonna be blue.
A lot of us grew up with grandmamas that had gardens.
Yeah.
From families that did this stuff.
Yeah.
Shout out to Grams.
Yeah, but it's like we don't have people in our community that look like us that's talking about it or sound like us and talking about it. One thing, and I really tell people, like, black people really need to learn certain things from black people. Black people need to learn how to garden and farm from other black people. Why? Because if you learn gardening or farming from a white person, they might not care about collard greens like we do. Therefore, they're not going to teach you.
Yeah.
Or that's not going to be a top priority for them.
Right.
Real. They're going to be trying to teach you about
soybeans and all that little stuff.
Like that. That's not even like super indigenous to our culture. And that's actually bringing me to a lot of the foods that we enjoy today really came here by way of a lot of our ancestors, for real.
Absolutely.
Like watermelon, okra, black-eyed peas. That stuff is not natively grown in the U.S. That stuff really came from other countries over here and really came like with a lot of our ancestors. So when we get to talking about food and production and farming and stuff, it can really get deep. We can even go deeper than that.
Right. I mean, because for instance, one of the conditions of war is the very first thing that they secure is water and food. Like, that's the very first thing. So it is really against, like, we should be having this, like, no pun intended, like grassroots. Like, when we young, we should be out there, because if we ever want to go to war with anybody, we need to be able to access clean water and food to sustain ourselves in order to be like, F you, we don't need you, or to do anything.
Jazz, how did you find gardening? You said your life was turned upside down. And
then the interest for it, and then I don't know, like when stuff really just started hitting the fan, I don't know, something was just like, go deeper in it. Like, I don't know, it wasn't really a thing or a person, it was just kind of
her going deeper and just planting a seed for it to grow and manifest into the beautiful garden she is today, Smith. Everybody knows that, Smith.
Nah, but yeah,
dang, like,
I just lost what I was just about to say.
Hey, take a point from him.
You were saying that you went deep down within yourself, and that's what
but no, it was
give me my point.
Something you had said that made me I forgot it.
Yeah, but like something planted a seed in you, no pun intended.
Yeah.
Hey, I'm tired of this.
Yeah.
All right, you want to get at me now.
This is a clever person, man.
No, you know what?
That comes from battle rap.
I always think about my aunt. I have an aunt Nene that has always had a green thumb, always had beautiful plants in her house.
Okay.
I've had people in my family that, of course, have had plants and things, so it's always kind of been there. I don't know. I guess I just found it again.
So now I have a friend who plants a lot of different types of plants, stuff like that. And they speak on some plants just do not agree with them. Like, they can try to do everything by the book and they still die. Is it like a thing where like plants really don't like people?
Hold on, Jazz. Before you answer that, we're going to take a quick break real quick. We'll be right back. Yeah.
Every time I come in the press room, you in the press room. Working on our Stars Hot Tronic heat press. Using all the vinyl. Making all the picture tees. I like vinyl.
I'm about to just load these boxes up. I'm out your way.
Man, you gotta be a crazy little brother to get fired on your day off. What you get caught stealing boxes for?
Man, I didn't get caught stealing no boxes. He said he caught me though.
We get our rent paid.
Why don't you go in there and ask the girls real fast to see if they help us pay our rent?
That don't sound like a bad plan at all.
What's up, Pops?
What's up, Smokey?
I'm trying to set up a meeting with the girls, man.
Okay.
Y'all want to help me and Craig pay our rent?
Craig still owe me money from the last time he got me. He gotta learn a lesson. He shouldn't be stealing. Go ask him to tell that girl from last night to give him some money.
What they say? They said it's slow for real.
I'm about to just ask boss when we get our job that night.
Of course you can. Yeah! All right, you guys, we are back like crack.
Oh no, man! Come on, man! Don't you ever come back from break like? Don't you ever come back from break like that, bro? We had the mayor on here, bro.
Excuse me.
I know you was on vacation, but I had the mayor on here.
Listen, you talking about drugs?
He got me.
talking about-
I jumped too quick.
Yeah, crack is the crack of somebody's ass, bro.
What? That's even worse. After you went on this long ass rant about. All right, whatever. All right,
Just when you thought I couldn't go any lower, I went lower.
That's a bar. Crack is over here, and that crack down there is low. All right, got you.
Okay. All right, that's the drug dealer in P. Automatically
See that?
goes.
Man, thanks for selling this crack.
All right, look. Listen, y'all. Man, go to our YouTube channel.
Yeah, bro, we serious
got
about that.
So many interviews on our YouTube channel, bro. We got Mark Baker.
Who?
Yep.
Mark Baker, man.
Oh,
Mark
okay.
Baker went to Ohio State University, played point guard with Jimmy Jackson. Went and played overseas. Went and played for Toronto Raptors.
Yes.
Went and won championships at Dunbar. He sat down right here on the Godcast.
Big
you know who else came on here?
Who
the
else?
mayor.
Who?
The man that just won the mayor for Dayton, Ohio right now, bro. They ain't talking about no old mayor. The mayor that ain't even the mayor yet.
Mayor
He was
elect.
sworn in on January.
The mayor elect.
Came, sat down with the Godcast.
For sure.
So, yeah. Okay. And then we got other people that you might be interested in. Tony Ruby,
Yeah,
Feel
my
me?
favorite interview.
Marlon Shack,
Yes.
Darren Bird,
Mm-hmm.
Ron Hunter,
Yes, sir.
DJ Jelly. And the list goes on and on and on.
Man, you
Michael
left out
Polo
Daquan
Ford.
Cook, man. You
Daquan
left
Cook.
Daquan.
Michael Wright. Oh, my God. Daquan Cook is like our go-to for real.
Yeah.
He came here, you can come.
Yeah.
You feel me? Like, ain't nobody good enough to come here.
We had
Too
an
good to come here. If Michael Wright and Daquan could come here.
Bro, we had an
you
NFL
can-
champion come on here, man.
Man,
What
we
you
had
mean?
PK Sam come in here and
Talk about?
expose Florida State.
He did.
I'm going to drop parts of that interview like literally right now. I got it sliced
got
and
some.
diced, ready to go. All right, but we want to give a shout out to our sponsors. Go to Shiekhs for breakfast,
Yeah.
Agnes All Natural Grill for lunch.
Yeah.
If you ever get injured in a car accident, let's say you driving down the street and a car T-bones you. Bang.
Boom.
Oh my God.
Man, that
Why
is
would
so
they do
devastating.
something like that? Call attorney Michael Wright at
period.
937-222-7477. If you're definitely call an ambulance.
Yeah.
Okay,
Period.
Michael Wright didn't tell me to say this. You get 5 bands from what I hear on the streets. If you just call an ambulance after an accident.
Man, where do you get these numbers from, man?
Exactly. So anybody say, Smith, who told you that? I was like, Tay. My brother Tay. R.I.P. Tay.
R.I.P. Tay, man.
Tay told me that, you know?
Yeah.
So listen, and Tay knows what he's talking about. So 5 bands, okay? You get in a car accident. Ambulance, no matter if you feel hurt or not, you could be, okay?
Right. And
Yes,
there you go.
there you
Didn't
go.
Jazz, and this ain't, but Jazz said she was feeling just fine.
Right.
She was feeling good that day.
Amazing.
Next thing she know, went to another hospital, had the young king that day.
Yeah.
Just because you don't feel bad don't mean you don't need to go to the hospital.
Exactly.
Go
Exactly.
straight to the hospital. Call attorney
full
Michael
circle.
Wright, 937-222-7477. Make the right choice, man. And when you want to get
Lit.
slammered, lit, bent, hint. It's a new word for me.
For a stint.
When you want to get bent for a stint.
Hey.
Get some Kiara Wine, man. Big Antoine Cunningham. It's at More for Less, or you can inbox him. He delivers Kiara Wine
He
now.
does, man.
Yep. So go ahead. Call Big
lit.
937. Inbox.
I'm about to give out Michael Wright's number. You don't call Michael Wright number looking for Kiara Wine.
Kiara Wine. Hello, Attorney Michael Wright's office. Y'all got Kiara Wine? Man said
I can get
this
bit
a number.
for a cent for 1 red cent.
All right, man. The shoparea.com
What?
is like the baby Amazon. The shoparea.com, shoparea.com. They got anything you want. If you're going to go to Amazon, go to the shoparea.com instead. Delivery is always free from the store to your door in 4 business days. So, yeah, the shoparea.com. It's lit. All right, we at t-shirtkings247.com. Come on, we at the corner of Main and Nottingham, 4301 North Main Street. We specialize in making photo T-shirts, picture tees, memorial shirts, man. When you lose somebody that you love, it makes you feel a little better. A little bit of therapy goes in there when we make a memorial T-shirt for you. You get a chance to express to the world how you feel and how you loved this person that you are representing on your shirt. So come on through and you understand what we're talking about, you know?
Right.
And not only do I sell this, I buy it myself. I represent my family all the time that I care about on my shirt. All right? So get with us, man. Sell stocks, not dope. That's Dash Resource. Every Sunday on the Dash Resource YouTube channel, sponsored by T-Shirt Kings,
Absolutely.
man. It's my brother P Dash, man. We got Jaz Stewart in here, man. She's teaching us about life, man. She's teaching us about things we need to know about, like real stuff, man. And I'm ready to learn. So without further ado, my bro P Dash is over to you.
Man, you body that, man.
Thanks, bro.
So back when you planting these beautiful seeds in our soul, how you became the beautiful flower you are today.
Real talk. That's a bar.
Yeah, one huge drive was also just COVID. You know, when we weren't able to get toilet paper from the stores or food items, our favorite food items from the stores, that really was a red flag to me of, girl, you better at least know how to grow some food. Seriously. And I love to think future and forward, so I'm always trying to think, you know, a couple years down the line, like, shoot, we can't get toilet paper in the store right now, what's the next year about to be looking like, or the year after that? Yeah. Yeah.
That's my African tradition. Family cloth.
Another huge thing was I really started dipping into herbalism and messing with herbs. And that's something that a lot of our ancestors, that's how they took care of themselves. A lot of our ancestors knew they could go outside and pick some dandelions and steep it in some hot water, and that would be a detox tea.
Right.
Like, there's various medicinal knowledge indigenous to our culture, and by way of herbalism.
So speaking of herbalism, how do you feel about medical marijuana?
I'm an advocate for it. I would love to eventually grow it. I would love to supply dispensaries with it. I really think it's a powerful medicinal tool. I really, you know, one thing I think about weed, though, I really would love to see more black farmers getting into the industry, especially considering how many of our family members are incarcerated due to selling the same thing that this white farmer over here is making millions of dollars off of.
Absolutely. So, what is the red line that keeps us out of those type of ventures?
Racism. So, right now, I don't want to say black because I know some people feel a way about that word. People of the African diaspora, there's only 1 to 2% of us in the agriculture industry right now. We only make up 1 to 2% black people, African people. At one point, we were holding 40% of the market. We no longer hold that much of the market due to acres of land being illegally seized. Us not getting the same financial grants, loans, and things as other white farmers. It's just, it's a lot of things, but a lot of the answers is pretty much racism. When our land was seized, we're talking about millions of acres of land taken. And I want to say this could be the wrong number, but I feel like it's kind of around that area. I want to say it was like 40 to 50 million acres illegally taken from black farmers when we transitioned from slavery into emancipation and things like that.
Right.
So yeah, our shit being taken is a huge reason why, and our shit being taken and never given back.
And also, for instance, so that is one form of racism, right? But I saw you be very, very vocal when the KKK came to Dayton, right?
Oh yeah.
So to me, that's a bad seed that they were trying to play here, because to me it's like, okay, the money they put into protecting these whatever you want to call these people could have went towards
Other things
that would benefit the whole and the collective. But one thing I did see that I was proud to see was it wasn't just black people down there that was protesting. There
Right.
also were some whites down there as well.
Right. And I mean, yeah, it was, and that's the only way we're really going to be able to get to change in which we wish to see is when other races kind of come and be our advocates and allies and stuff. But I felt the exact same way. I feel like they welcomed that energy into our city. I feel like certain things happened to establish certain messages with us. I feel like it was a very intentional message sent when that was allowed to take place in our city. What's crazy is I went to Northmont growing up, so I grew up kind of in the Inglewood area. So I grew up around a lot of racism, and racism is not this dead thing that people like to think it is. Racism is still very heavily prevalent in our everyday lives, in the medical field, in the food industry, in our policies, in our schools, in our wherever.
Can we overcome it, Jess?
The only way we would be able to overcome racism is if we get white people to identify racism as a mental illness. And what I mean by that is, like, there has to be some sort of breakdown and healing process that happen. Like, you don't just get over racism. Like, I like to ask white people, in which ways have you internalized racism? Like, do you even know in which ways you are racist? Do you know, like, are you microaggressive? Or are you, like, do you have certain biases? Like, are you even aware of those things? Because a lot of white people are not aware of the ways in which that they are biased. They just honestly are not aware. Right. And I I hate that. A lot of times we as black people, people always look at us like, oh, we're so angry, we're so depressed, we're so anxious. They always focus on our mental illnesses or mental unwellness, but they never put that much light on white people. Like, racism is a whole mental disease. Like, white superiority is a whole mental illness. Like, it's warped into all these
symptoms of a larger cause.
Right. And it's just like, why don't they look at it the same way as they look at how it affects us? If I'm articulating that correct.
This made me think of this whole Kyle Rittenhouse thing, right? So if for people out there who are not too familiar with it, a 17-year-old kid, white kid, illegally modified pistol, he's not old enough to have the pistol, goes to a Black Lives Matter rally to save some businesses is their opposition to the other side. And they're saying when he was confronted by 3 other people, he shot them and killed them because he feared for his life. But what I said is this: if you make that person a Muslim, you make that person a black person, the very first thing they're going to stop is say, he was illegally in possession of a weapon. That's where the conversation starts when it's other people. But then they'll say, man, nah, like, that's just a misdemeanor. That misdemeanor resulted in 3 people being killed. If he did not have a pistol, he would have took an ass whooping. We've all taken one before. Yep. People scared to take an ass whooping nowadays. He would have took a nice little ass whooping for going out there at 17 years old by yourself, trying to be Billy Bo tough ass. And I see them being so opposed to just looking at it from a different perspective that I know is intentional at this point. There's no way you could be that blindly opposed to something that can be changed by just the character being switched.
Right. Do you guys think that racism is something that's only levied against black people, or are white people racist towards, like, Chinese, Indians, East Indians, other, like, Africans that come from Africa, or is it just niggas?
I'm sure they're racist towards other people. I mean, we've seen movements, the Asian movements, other things like that regarding racism. Do I think it's at the same extent as niggas get it? Nah. But also other races don't have the same history as us either. Right. So I mean, I don't know, and I don't want to speak for nobody else's racist experience, because I don't know what racism feels like as a Chinese person or Indian person. I know what it feels like as a nigga.
Well, I'm gonna say the difference in level of racism is different when it comes to us. I'm gonna tell you the reason why, right? If I come and hit a little child and he goes back to tell his big daddy to come fight me, I'm going to have to deal with somebody else. I say that to say, if you mess with a Chinese person, you got to deal with the whole Chinese backing of Chinese people. With black people, we have no backing at all. So with that, lets them to go unchecked, untapped, nothing to take from us. Not like, so they can just
But are you saying we just don't have a country?
We don't have anybody
really
that,
communal
we don't have nothing to fight back economically, socially, military-wise.
Really?
Against the government. No.
Economically?
Well, of course our black dollars, but you got to think about how badly can they disadvantage us economically if they wanted to. We're under the thumb of them anyway. Like we talk about people that are in fringes right now, where we're talking about, we literally talking about people who can't even grow their own food. Why would the government be scared of?
Can't we can't grow our own food, or we don't grow our own food.
I would say can't, because we're focused too much on things that don't matter. I know kids like wait, man.
We can know people.
I know kids right now who can say every word of their favorite rap song. And I know a kid right now, if you get them a seed and put them outside, they're going to look at me and say, what do I do with this? I can't do this. I'm not saying we're incapable of learning it. I didn't say that at all.
But it's not true that we can't. It's not true. We can. We got a queen.
We shall.
Right? We got a queen.
We
got a queen who's
we
not only doing it, but she's teaching other people to do it as well. So,
and it comes with that
some of this shit, like all of this shit with the racism, we're turning over our power and our greatness, and we're acting as victims and acting like somebody else is controlling our future. Like, we have to do this shit ourselves. Yeah. Fuck Kroger's. Yeah. Okay? Fuck Cub Foods. If you move out of our neighborhood, we're going to buy this fucking building that you left and put food in it and keep this shit rolling and make it a black grocery store and clean that motherfucker up and make sure that it's good. Like, if this is in our mindset, we fucked up.
We are.
Stop waiting. I know that, but I'm just saying, moving forward, we were. We're not. Yes. We not are.
Yeah.
We were. But now we have to see these as opportunities, man. Mm-hmm. Like, that's it. That's all. Like, man, I just can't give nobody that much fucking credit.
Yep.
Against what I can do for myself.
I just feel like, yes, man, I think in a vacuum that makes perfect sense. But I think for instance, displaced workers was a thing during the pandemic, right? Mm-hmm. A lot of people started their own businesses and stuff like that. A lot of us left our jobs, myself included, right? Yeah. I understand exactly what you mean by get up and do it because ain't nobody gonna do it for me. I understand exactly what you mean by that. But that is because that is where I was in the walk of life of who I am. 19-year-old Peanut could not have. Fresh off the boat, 18, 19, 20. I don't think I was that confident in myself or seen enough fall down and fails for me to do it.
But it's a bunch of white kids that ain't doing that shit either. Like, it don't take everybody either.
Nope.
It don't take everybody.
We're only 12% of.
But the 12% of us, it's 100% of us. Okay, and the 12% that makes up America, we can sell to them too. But we could the 100% of us could take care of each other though, if we just do that shit. Like, we are focused on the wrong shit, like you said, no doubt about it. Mm-hmm. But there is an opportunity to refocus. There is an opportunity for, I mean, like, bro, actually, this show is a part of the solution.
Yes, it is. And
like, we got a queen on here, okay,
Mm-hmm.
teaching kids how to plant, how to garden, how to grow, how to farm. Mm-hmm. And so what we got to do is, okay, we can say, okay, cool. She's giving us step-by-step instructions. If you would just give us a...
Yeah, there we go.
If you would just give us
just real quick.
So now we can't say y'all don't know. Y'all about to learn right now.
Exactly. And then what we do is we put the gas on this video to make sure that we get 50,000 views on it. We let everybody continue to share it. And then we are actually a part of this side that's teaching.
Right.
How to do what we supposed to do, you know? And then more than that, like, man, we just, Amaha Selassie,
Absolutely. Yeah.
We had him on the show. He got a grocery store. You know, we just making people aware of these possibilities so we can be inspired to do the same.
We definitely can.
And even to your point, I can teach people how to grow in a matter of seconds. When people say they can't get a plant to live or whatever, I tell people, figure out what that plant needs. You on your phone all day, see what this particular plant needs. The only thing plants need is water, sunlight, space. You might need some fertilizer. That is it.
Yeah.
A lot of seeds, you know, a lot of seeds are complicated to where they need all these crazy things to start off. But a lot of seeds, your typical veggie seeds, a lot of them you can just throw in dirt. Throw the seed in the dirt, throw some water in there, and put it in front of the sun. That's
what are
it.
some of the ones that you can just do that? Like the
collard greens, lettuces, carrots, tomatoes, kale, the beans, green beans, things like that, peas.
All right, Jazz. So step one. I wanna grow some shit tonight.
Yeah, here we
Step
go.
Okay,
one, get you
what
a
we do?
container, any container. And a container can be anything. A container can be a milk carton. A container can be an old rain boot you don't use no more. A container can be a plastic cup. Put some dirt in there. Put your seed in there. Water it. Put it in front of some sunlight. You can put it in front of a windowsill. That's just fine. Watch it day to day. Look to see if it's dry. Give it some water. If it's too wet, don't water it. Like, you know, if it's not getting, you know, to sun, switch spots so it can get adequate sun.
Where can I go get some seeds from?
We're out of the gardening season right now, so you can't go to your typical Walmart, Kroger, but in the summer and springtime, your typical everyday big box store, other places, online. Matter of fact, it's a company that will send you, it's a black-owned seed company that will send you a pack of seeds for free. I cannot think of the name right now. But if I figure it out, I'll tell you, and you can put it in the comments or something.
Yeah, gotcha.
And so, yeah, like, go on Google. Go on Amazon. Like, you can get seeds from anywhere. You can get seeds from Etsy. You can get seeds anywhere online. And to your point, we really have to treat life as if we're living in an ecosystem. Like, people don't understand that we're living in an ecosystem. Like, and an ecosystem is really just the people of an area, the plants of an area, the animals of the area, the landscape, the weather of a particular area, creating a bubble of life. So if my place in life or the ecosystem is gonna be to teach food, and you got a whole bunch of money, your place in life could be the person that provides me a place to grow or sell the food. And this person over here, they can be a person that packaged the food, and that can be their part in the ecosystem. But it's like people really need to look at, where do I fit in my ecosystem of life? How can I make my community better? And matter of fact, let me go back. We really need to start looking in our families, like start working in our family units. How can we make ourselves better so then our families can be better, so then our communities can be better? Because one thing I'm learning in schools is a lot of the students are just reflective of their environments and the people that they be around.
Right.
Yeah.
A lot of these kids is angry and don't know how to deal with their emotions because their parents are angry and they don't know how to deal with their emotions. A lot of these kids is violent because their parents are violent. A lot of kids, just whatever is going on with the adults in their life, they're mimicking that.
Yes.
They're really mimicking that. So I really although I love teaching, kids youth gardening, I really love coming back and doing stuff with my adults, because a lot of developmental stuff we miss in childhood because our childhoods be so damn rough.
Right.
Like, we don't learn gentleness and kindness. And we don't learn those key relationship skills and stuff in childhood for real, or our generation and beyond didn't.
Right.
So, yeah.
So, like, one of the things that you did that is actually speaking to what you mean by that is you did a planting set.
Yes,
So-
that's my favorite thing to do.
So,
That's my favorite.
shout out to Kiara Wine.
Shout out to
But-
Kiara Wine. I hit him up. That's how I knew about that hemp wine. I was supposed to get some of his hemp wine for my said our schedules ended up not matching up and I couldn't get it. But yeah.
I pulled down on her when you pulled down on me.
I still want that bottle. I do. And I keep hearing people talk about it. So it's like, damn, I hope I ain't miss my shot.
So that's a bar, miss your shot. I got it.
Right.
So was Miss Parker really at your event?
No.
I'm just kidding.
No.
I'm like, And then Parker gonna be out there like watering your flowers. No, out there like,
totally just a marketing tip. And that's one thing about me. I love being a controller of my destiny. Like, yeah, I'm a farmer, but I'm also an entrepreneur, and I'm also this, and I'm also a book club host, and I'm also a mom, and I'm also this other thing. So, but I really love business. I really love studying business. I really love like coming up with creative like marketing things and stuff for the business. So that was just a little.
Yeah,
a key to get people to be like, what
dope.
is this exactly that she's talking about?
So for somebody that was like thinking about going to your next plant sip, what do you actually teach there besides just the water? Blah, 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 blah. What else do you teach? Because I saw a list of things that you.
Yeah. So I call it a plant workshop, but it ultimately ends up being like a women's social group. To be honest, and
there don't be no men in there.
I've been having a hard time trying to get guys to learn about plants.
Sure, hit me up. I'm gonna slide with you, bro. I'm gonna slide with you.
So, I love when people come. Of course, I teach them the basics of put this seed in some plant and soil and stuff, but also tying that into our own peopleness and our own self-care. A lot of times, outside of the club, I don't know what people really have as far as socializing and fellowship and stuff. Maybe for men, but women, we don't really be having nothing. So like events like this ultimately turn into, I don't want to say event session, but let's talk. How are you? A debriefing situation. And then what's crazy is whatever they're talking about, I just magically find a way to tie it into like plant care or caretaking or something, and it works. It works. Yeah, it does, seriously.
Glory be to the Most High, man. Like, real talk.
Yeah, and I didn't put together these elaborate events where I got the itinerary down, so I know these 10 minutes we gonna talk about this, and the next 10 minutes we talk about this, and I get to the event and we not able to do any of the stuff I planned because we didn't talk about this. But I love that because it's so necessary. Like imagine how better of a mom or a dad or a sister or brother you could be if you just had time to release. Like if somebody just asked you, hey, are you okay today? Like and just been able to release throughout the day.
Wow. So you were nominated for a Black Excellence Award.
Yes, I was. Yes, I was. I was. Yes, I was.
So let us talk about that, because to me, like, I think that is like super major. You know, I hope to be a nominee one day.
Yeah, you're gonna be a nominee. Yep. This show is gonna be nominated. I'm claiming it now. Yeah, for sure.
You like Black Excellence,
right? For real.
So thank you, Swig. I'm here, Black. So you got me today. So. What was that like for you?
That was validation for me. I think the further I kind of get into my entrepreneurial journey, the more confident I get. When I first saw that, I kind of had a split second of that self-doubty stuff. Like, damn, did I do enough to be nominated? Did I talk? Did I teach enough? Did I, do people know about me for real? And it was just like, of course they do. Why would you be nominated? What other reason would you be nominated?
Right.
So, it felt good to be recognized with my peers. I really just learned the lesson of not doing shit for the clout. And what I mean by that is, I really have this thing of wanting to be great. So it's like, I want to do things, but like I want to get the accolades too, and I want to get the things that come with it, and I want to be seen and all this stuff. And like I really been drugged through the mud a little bit, to where now it's like, I want to do stuff because I genuinely want to see my community good. And it's like, wow, the moment that I changed that mindset within myself, I got nominated for an award. So it was kind of like just a little something from the guys. I feel like yeah, you're on the right path.
Right. So, but to me, it's also dope because like you get a chance to network with other people, like at the Young Black Professional event. So, who are some people who like you immediately made a connection with at that Melanin Bar?
What's crazy? I knew everybody there. I knew everybody there. Everybody that was there. I'm just trying to think of everyone that was there. Chris, of course, was DJing that night. He did absolutely amazing. Jericho was there. She won Trapper of the Year. Oh God, Will was there. He had won. Oh God, I forgot the award that he had won. Yep. Oh God, I forgot her name, but she won. She has the social emotional learning company, and I'm so sorry if you guys see this for not remembering your name. But y'all know exactly who I'm talking about. I'm just thinking it was so many, anybody you could think that pretty much is black and excellent in Ohio and Dayton was there. Literally everybody was there.
Peanut wasn't there.
Well, Peanut wasn't there.
I was too busy. Wait. I was too busy teaching people about stocks that day. So
Right.
I don't take no days.
Right. Yeah, and I'm so sorry I can't think of everybody's name, but everybody was there. We had a blast, and I love events like that because it's like, a lot of our days are spent, dealing with these businesses and being hard, but being able to dress up and have fun and have a drink and be recognized and be celebrated. It's like, it was amazing.
It was an amazing picture too, by the way. It was an amazing picture. Respect is yours.
Yeah, my date.
So where did the inception for IThrive Dayton come from?
I have recently completed the Early Risers program, which is 10-week vigorous business development program offered here through Launch Dayton. So if you early on your entrepreneurial journey, please check that out. That was a program that really helped me get my head on straight as an entrepreneur. Going through that course, my business name before was Jazz's Root House, and I just felt like it wasn't I couldn't grow into that. Like I feel like I was stunting my growth with that name. So I just changed it and I wanted something intentional. And that's when I thought of Thrive. And there's actually a lot of companies named Thrive in Ohio. So messing around with the name is how I came up with IThrive. But the actual literal definition of thriving is in relation to plants and people growing. So it felt right to do that.
That's super dope. So, the Raw podcast.
Oh, yes. Shout out to Ari Divine. Yes, Ari Divine was my mentor. That's a podcast that we had started up a little while ago, talking about wealth and wellness and what that looks like in our communities with people that look like us and sound like us. Right. So, yes.
So, the Cultivated Space collab.
Yes. So, that was my first children's or youth paint and plant event. That was an absolute blast. We had kids come out. They were able to be creative and paint flower pot, and also showed them how to do some basic home gardening.
That's super dope.
Yep.
You did the what's this? Okay, we're talking about the graduating from the Dayton Early Risers program, the Radical Bloomers Youth Gardening Program at Fairview, which is no pun intended, your feeder program, because you literally started to come back to where you started. What was that crown moment like to come back where you grew from, got repotted somewhere else, and come back home to sow another seed?
Yeah, it just you know how just certain stuff in life happens, and it just feels like I knew this was divine because this is the only way I would recognize this. Like, I just knew this was, again, just confirmation for me of being on the right path and doing what I'm supposed to do. Like, just particularly, like, what's the odds of me ending up back at Fairview? Like, God knew I would look at this and be like, okay, this is from y'all. So, that's how this was.
So to me, I mean, I do a bunch of, research on, I guess, before I get here. And to me, it seemed like you put a lot of, not only into, your passion manifested. It was like you did a lot of self-care as well. Are there any books you could recommend for somebody that was going through that?
Absolutely. Working the Roots, 400 Years of African American Healing, African American Slave Medicine, the African Holistic Health book, and I'm sorry I can't think of the authors right now. Freedom Farmers.
Do your Googles.
Yes, do your Googles. I really love reading old books, and I'm talking about 1900 books, especially in regard to African culture, because it's so much stuff that's repeating itself. It's a lot of stuff we're dealing with now that our folks have been dealing with since forever, and they wrote about how they dealt with those things. They wrote about, the different journeys and avenues different journeys and avenues they had to go to, get away from this thing or get away from that thing. I can't think of the name of the book right now, but at one point in time, I guess the writing industry was not as popular as politicians, the government wanted. So they had finally gave a large lump sum of money to Black writers to kind of get the writing industry back up. And the first thing that they did, it was a group of Black women writers. The very first thing they did was went to a bunch of people that were recently freed, and they had gave them an opportunity to share their life story. And some of the things that I read in that book just blew my mind. It just blew my mind, and I saw the correlations of the same things happening to this day, and that was the thing that made me be like, so it don't matter the time, it just, the same shit's gonna go on. Like, whether we in the past, the present, the future, some of the same shit is gonna go on. And that's one thing that makes me drive to see how our people was dealing with things. Like, how was we dealing with racism? How was we dealing with depression? How was we dealing with, family structures? Because our family structures are messed up now, but they was even messed up back then too.
Right.
So it's like, okay, well, what were they doing to deal with those things? So, yeah.
So, here on Legend People podcast, we had a thing called the butterfly effect. Was there something you said during the course of the interview or something I found in the course of my research that I found truly amazing? Just to start at the very first part of your story is, like, you grew up literally, like, raising kids early, right? This is literally like a nursery, right?
Yeah.
It's funny that a garden's called a nursery too. Smidge, you get that later, right? you get that later, right? But it's like, you literally went through, like, your life, you know what I'm saying, living and just having a good time at first, and then you get your child, and it's like now your eyes are on the world and how these things are affecting your child and how things are affecting you to the point where, I mean, of course, we all crash and hit our head, and this is what makes us entrepreneurs at the end of the day, because our persevere to grow in situations that are
You going crazy.
You know what I mean? So, but to me, the most profound thing I see is, like, to me, I always love the people that give back, and then for you to start at Fairview, and then come back to sow that seed with those young kids in there. I mean, like, even though, like, because even though we talked about it earlier about the little kid coming saying, "Hey, I'm gay" or whatever. Something about what you're doing is nurturing and making it a comfortable, safe space for them to come tell you that. They probably didn't tell anybody.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And you are good. And to me, it's like you putting all the work in, and people get a chance to see you grow, because there's going to be people that remember you back when you used to kick it and go to the club. And it's like, man, listen, that is somebody I know that personally went through hell and high water to push her dream. And then it's like you also are incorporating to help others grow. Yeah. I mean, to me, that it's nothing more legendary than that. I mean, when we talk about people who are legendary for multiple things, you legendary for feeding, building things that we need going forward. That to me is more legendary than some of our other guests. No, I ain't shooting shots at none of y'all. That's why I say every legend is always higher than us. I'm telling you, it's super legendary, and you are a legend to us here on the podcast. So, man, I'm pretty sure you want to offer your observation.
Definitely. Dare I say you are Mother Nature.
Hey!
Mother Nature.
Bang, bang.
Mother Nature in the building, man. You know, I mean, but it's real. You know what I mean? And just piggybacking off of what bro is saying is just that for you to teach people how to feed themselves, man, I mean, that's the most essential thing in life.
Yes.
You know, it's just real honorable in every way. Yeah. And your whole vibration is just majestic.
Yes.
It's Matriarch Monday.
So
definitely we hit the nail on the head.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean? Just everything about you. You know what I'm saying? It's
just
You know, gardening is something that helped me learn meeting people where they are. Like, it's one thing, a lot of people talk about how not well we are, but it's like, all right, meet people where they at then. Like, I'm really learning that women can be great motivators. Like, because I'm more peaceful within myself. Now my kids are more peaceful. Now my house is more peaceful. Now my friends are more peaceful. Yeah. So again, that understanding that this is a ecosystem, and being, I didn't even realize, I used to just call it being intentional, but really planting the seeds. Like, I'm intentional about everything. Like, I'm intentional about how I wear my hair. Like, even just for today, because I want a girl to see this and be like, ooh, well, maybe I can wear my hair like that.
Right,
you know?
right. Representation is important.
Yeah, or, you know, just anything. Like, I love being in farming settings where I'm the only black person and I'm a woman and I'm coming in and I'm representing. Like, I love that. I love that. And listen, thank you for having me
here.
Man. Thank you for having me here.
Right.
Thank you for having me
Real talk.
So, yeah, I mean, to me, it's nothing more like honoring than that. I mean, if you can teach somebody how to, like, what was the old adage? If you fish for somebody,
if you teach somebody, if you feed somebody, they'll eat for the day. If you teach them how to fish, they'll eat for a lifetime. I love that with even farming. You can feed somebody today, but teach them how to grow their own food so they can eat for a lifetime.
You can feed nations with what you're teaching.
Yep.
So.
For real.
Smad,
I love it.
Smad, you want to run down the list one more time?
Yep. Yep. All right, y'all. Go to Agnes All Natural Grill for lunch. Go to Sheikhs for breakfast. If you ever in a car accident or any type of injury, call attorney Michael Wright, 937-222-7477. If you want to drink some wine and you want some good wine, get Kiara Wine. They are at More for Less, or you can contact Antoine Cunningham on Facebook. He'll deliver it to you. And who else? TheShopArea.com, TheShopArea.com, ShopArea.com. Yeah. From the store to your door in 4 business days. Delivery is always free with TheShopArea.com. T-Shirt Kings, TshirtKings247.com. GoForYourMouth, and Camera Kings Studios. Man, we take pictures here. Come and bring your family through. Shoot some pictures. You feel me? With all of these white man holidays.
There you go.
They coming up.
They were just signing the checks, man. They were just signing the
They
checks.
coming up, and I know you need some pictures, bro. I ain't gonna even lie, man. So come on through. Take some pictures with your family. You know, it can be for any reason, man. For any season. Oh, for any reason or season. Sure. If you want to take some pics, holler at your boy. Hey, we'll shoot you with some flicks. We'll shoot you.
Shoot you. Man.
With a camera, man.
All right.
This is why I don't get invited to the Black Excellent Award.
Oh.
No, man, no.
I'm
gonna make sure I talk.
Man,
are you kidding me?
How long have you been in business, man?
I was just playing.
I'm just playing card. I'm just playing card. You gotta.
I'm just playing card. Nah, hey, holler at all our sponsors, man. Sure. When you go and support them, they support us, and we keep making content. So it's a circle, man. You feel me?
I'm gonna tell you why, man. Because we're a grassroots organization.
Period.
That's a bar.
And he is on fire today, man. Sure. Bar after bar, man.
Bar after bar, man. Make sure y'all go check out IThriveDayton.com for sure.
Link in the YouTube description for sure.
Yeah. What are things that they can purchase on iThrive.com?
My chill essentials. So I still mess around with herbs, and I make an amazing hemp infused shea butter.
Oh, really?
That is known, to put you down and help you get some sleep, help you relax, distress you. I have my chill essentials hemp candles, and I'm trying to think. Oh, my therapy cards on there too, because friend, you can do the internal work at home via my therapy cards, and those are great for people that are interested in therapy, counseling, things like that. But yeah, just doing the work at home.
For sure. So what is next for the legendary Jaz Stewart?
You know what? I wish I knew. No, I mean, I do
know.
No,
she's very intentional, guys. She's very intentional.
No, I definitely do know, but you know how life is. Like, you could think you doing one thing, and by the end of the next year, you doing something completely different.
Yeah, like you plant something here, it grows in a different direction.
Something else. So.
I'm not doing no more plant bars the rest of the day. That's good.
So yeah, I'm really, one of my goals within the 2 years is to have my own agri-tourism site where people can come and learn how to farm and learn how to fish. So hopefully I'm really praying to the Most High that I can do that within the next 2 years.
Let that sunlight shine on you so you grow to where you are destined to be. Okay.
And so it is,
I'm Pastor Peanut now. But seriously though, if you want to grow your garden of money, please make sure you go to dashresort.com. You can holler at me. We're gonna try to make some real easy money with that. Sales Stock's Not Dope every Sunday 8:00 p.m. I'll tell you an easy way. And now we've been doing themes. The week before last theme, it was Black Friday stocks, such as these stocks traditionally do well around Black Friday. Guess what the top one was? Walmart, right?
Yeah.
So if you know that already, you could position yourself to buy that good stock on a bad day. That's one small example. This past week, I said good holiday stocks we buying right now. So you think of what's going to happen around the holiday, right? You're sitting around at the house, granny and them making food. What you going to do? Watch a streaming platform. Yep. Stocks are tied to streaming platforms. The top one right now would be Netflix, right? You got Disney and stuff like that to offer dividends. Just easy ways you can make money. If you are interested in more of that, hit me on dashresource.com or DM me, man. I'll get you together, man. Get you that 5-step book, for free on Amazon.com. Smith.
Yo, we love everybody. P.
Yeah.
We just read the sponsors.
Okay.
Okay, I'm tired of them now.
No, I'll let you sign out, bro. That's all I'm doing.
Well, the sign out isn't on me. The sign out is on the queen.
Exactly.
Because she's going to leave us with the words of wisdom.
There we go.
It's from me to you to the queen.
Me and you to the queen.
All right, so come on, Jazz. Give us some words of wisdom and then we up through here.
You know what? Everybody this season, be sure to give yourself some grace. The holidays is going to be hard for a lot of us. Give ourselves some grace. That's pretty much it. There we go.
Man,
Legendary
grace.
People Podcast. Legendary people. Legendary stories.
All right, y'all. We love everybody. We'll see you guys tomorrow. We got... who coming on tomorrow?
So who you looking at over here?
It's somebody. All right, we got T Hunt, man.
We got
T Hunt.
Hey.
And we got T Hunt coming on tomorrow at 6:00.
Yeah.
And we got Carl Blanton coming on. I
Yes.
think maybe Carl and Carlos might get both of the twins to come in here. And then Thursday night we got the Blue Chip CEO
That's hard.
who coached LeBron James Jr.
Yes.
from 5th grade all the way up to his 9th grade year. So
Crazy
he's going
lineup.
yeah, he's going to come on and talk about that whole journey and man, his journey as being a program director. And we got Jay Jones Friday night
Yes.
as an update on what he got going.
You did an appetizer with him before, didn't you?
I did,
Yeah.
Yep. So, guys, we got a cool week coming up. Smash the like button, subscribe, comment below. Drop in the comments who you would like to see on our show. If we haven't had somebody on that's definitely worthy of coming and we missed them, drop it in the comments and we'll get in contact with them and bring them on. All right, y'all. Love everybody. Peace. Jazz, way to do your thing, Queen.
Yeah.
Thank you guys.
Peanut, you did an amazing job today. I ain't gonna even lie. You dropped.
Why you get my flowers?
You dropped